All right, Peter, which prospect will you be tracking the closest leading up to the 22 NFL draft?
How cool is this that Bucky, 3 weeks from the draft, has a thing, and it's not just 1 or 2 names who are going to go first overall. He's like, here are 5 names that could go. That's the intrigue of this draft. It's not the Trevor Lawrence draft. It's not the Andrew Luck draft. It's the we don't know yet what's going to happen, and it could be any of these guys going in any order in the top 5, and that's what I'm tying myself to. And there's some personalities, big ones. And I'm going to go right back to that guy. Kayvon Thibodeau is fascinating to me because here's a player who was the #1 high school recruit 3 years ago, came to Oregon and was everything and more, exceeded expectations, has an ankle injury during this season, misses some time, and then comes back from the ankle injury, plays really well, and then sits out the bowl game and leaves early, and then decides, hey, I'm going to go to the combine. I'm not necessarily going to do all the drills, but I will meet with teams. And the feedback I got was, this kid's got some spark to him, whether good or bad, depending on see. Let's look at some of the quotes from Kayvon Thibodeau over the last few years. Let's start off with this one here. On game knowledge, there's nothing a coach could tell me that I don't already know. On NFL comparison, I'm like Jadeveon 2.0, right? I don't know if that's good or bad, all right? This one was the one that has made a lot of rounds.
Okay.
On choosing Oregon over Alabama, remember, #1 high school recruit in the country. Do I want to be a guy who's known to be a national champion winner, or do I want to be a guy who's known for being a part of one of the greatest organizations in the world? There's a guarantee that if you play football at Oregon, you can work in the corporate Nike world.
Are you sure this isn't Jalen Smith?
I don't know about Jalen Smith, but I do know that this is like a Saturday Night Live routine if you were like, let's write quotes that you think would turn off NFL evaluators more.
It's a game we would play on the show. We'd have fake quotes, and you have to pick the real one.
Do I want to play for a championship winner? No, I want to work for a good brand.
Work for Nike.
That's the kind of stuff that makes NFL evaluators vomit.
Yeah.
And yet you watch the film and it makes them want to jump for joy. Yeah. This is the rub. And so then he gets to the pro day, and trust me, he has read all the stuff over the last 3 weeks of being told, that coaches and GMs didn't like how he interviewed at the combine. They don't like these kind of quotes. And Mike Yam at our network asks him the question, and it says, first overall, should it go? Let's listen to Kayvon Thibodeau Friday after hearing all the media criticism of his quotes. What's he have to say?
The most ridiculous thing I've heard is that I'm not the best player in this draft, honestly. And that's, other than that, I don't really listen to everything else. But that, to me, is outrageous just, with the film, with the numbers, and what I can do as far as my ability. I have confidence in what I can do.
Let's go.
All right.
Let's go.
So where do we stand on that? And I ask you guys this because let me just get in here because it's like I talk to coaches. They're like, he's actually a great kid too. It's nothing criminal. It's nothing like he's got a bad rap or anything. It's just he's very confident and he's very proud of himself. And maybe he says these things like, is that a guy you want in your locker room? Well, yeah, every locker room's got confident guys. I don't know where the line is where you're like, that's too toxic or that's something I don't like. Or there are some teams that are like, hell, we've got a bunch of guys who are looking for someone to give us that spark. Give us that. So I'm fascinated because on field, there might be no better player. You're talking about Hutchinson. Thibodeau's not as big as Hutchinson and Walker, but he might be even more electric. He's worthy of that first overall pick, as he will tell you. But is that for every locker room? Emmanuel, just real quick.
Yeah, so what scares me...
As he will tell you.
If a quarterback was talking like that, it would scare me.
Yep.
Right? Because the quarterback doesn't supposed to talk.
Love this take.
But a defensive lineman talking like that, I'm like, okay, you're supposed to feel that way. You want to be able to dominate guys. But when I see quarterbacks, I'm like, God, I don't really want that guy to be the leader of my team. Right? So, I'm fine with that because he is a defensive lineman.
Mm-hmm. And he doesn't have to galvanize anybody and play in, play out. Just go make plays. And everybody wants that little juice and that little swagger on their team. Like, we hit. Like, no one wants to play us. But then the second the guy starts talking, they're like, what do you want? Guys, it's to your point, Peter. What's the thing that's really worrying you here? He's not all about football or some stupid take like that?
The red flag being that he's more about his brand. And in 2022, in an Instagram world, is he about the team? He said he's not. He's about the brand.
Look around. How many players are thinking about that stuff?
And guess what? You ask his teammates and his college coach, and they all speak the world of him. So,
I also think there's a fine line between cocky and confidence, right?
Yeah.
And if you are going to be that confident, you just got to back it up. And his resume suggests that he does. I make the Jalen Smith comment because it ruined him in Dallas to some extent because when he signed his new deal, all he talked about was aligning his brands with the Joneses, and he had the clear eye view glasses. And it was unfortunate because, he was this incredible story, this guy that wasn't going to be able to play again because of the knee injury, and then, did a really good job in Dallas, and, they rolled the dice on him, and the medicals checked out, and then, of course, he played. But he was always talking about the brand and the business, which, is interesting because for so long we we kind of knocked football players for not having a plan B after football. What is the average shelf life of a football player? Is what, 6 years? These guys are thinking in the future, right? These guys are thinking in the future, so I don't hate it for them, but I just think you're probably not used to seeing that from a college player who hasn't even been in the league or done anything yet.
Last thing, just to wrap, the other thing is his motor turned, like, people do the film work, they're like, the last few games, his motor wasn't all the way up.
Shutting it down.
So people didn't like that either. Okay. So we'll see.
Well, hey, he's talking, he has to back it up. I mean, for me, my player would be Ahmad Sauce Gardner.
All right, let's talk about it.
Right? I mean, 6'2", 6'3", running 4.41. The guy in 3 seasons haven't given up a touchdown. Over 1,000 snaps, haven't given up a touchdown. He plays with swagger. He plays with confidence. For me, like, I see a Jalen Ramsey type out there, right? And then, you know, what name better than Sauce?
How do you feel about that?
We talk about barbecue sauce at McDonald's. We talk about, everybody loves sauce. Who would want sauce? Like, who wants to eat, you know, chicken nuggets with no sauce? Who don't want sauce on their team? I mean, and for me, like, let's talk about the guy's play. Like I said, he's a big-time corner. These days in the NFL, you want big corners. You want these Jalen Ramsey-type cornerbacks. For me, it's the hardest guys to play against. And like I said, everybody's saying that they're the best player in the draft. But if you're a team that's looking for a dominant cornerback, I'm definitely going to go with this guy. And it's going to be intriguing because you think about just the media, like what they can do in terms of with the name Sauce and the valuable market that he has. So he's definitely a player that I'm going to be watching closely.
We need somebody who has a couple of picks, like the Jets, to get both those guys. I need Kayvon and Sauce together, like because they're going back and forth saying they're the best player in the draft. Maybe end up taking both of them. The guy I'm most intrigued by is this concept that a Liberty University quarterback is going to be a top 10 pick potentially. Talking about Malik Willis. This guy is hitting this perfect right now because there's what I call in the league right now for quarterbacks ceiling thirst, where everyone just wants this supernova of talent, and everyone is chasing this idea that we're going to have not just a good, solid quarterback, but some sort of transcendent superstar because of their talent. I don't think anybody is looking for a guy who's like, well, he's going to throw for 3,800 yards and 20 touchdowns, and we're going to play defense. And they all want this Josh Allen thing or this Justin Herbert thing, and that's why you're seeing teams, even that don't have them, doing the Rams thing, where like Jared Goff is not good enough for us. We have to move on. Or the Colts saying Carson Wentz we need somebody better. And here comes this guy from this this program you probably don't know a lot about, by way of Auburn, who's just really talented and really raw. And like I saw Peter King this morning, he's like, I think he goes 8 to Atlanta. 8 overall.
Really high.
Really high. Like rare air for a guy who like. Everybody has there's a lot of questions about his decision-making and his experience and the big game. And like, you know, Trey Lance is going to start for the Niners this year, the same year, I think a year ago, and he had taken a year off. So this time right now for a guy like Malik Willis, where 5 years ago, 15 years ago, it's a day 3 project. Maybe we'll grab him. Right. And now it's like, not only are you going to be a first-round pick, you could go in the top 5 of the draft because we are that drunk for somebody's athletic ceiling and dying so much to find the next Mahomes. Even the Mahomes thing, we all laughed at it. Like, you don't take Texas Tech quarterbacks. That's the oldest trick in the book. You never do that. And now he's like the face of the AFC. It is. But it's like, we've seen it before. And look at this guy.
B.J. Simons and Grant Harrell.
Can't do it. Yeah. And it's just, that was one of the draft bylaws that are now torn up. The Texas Tech guys are system guys. The whole league's changed. The whole scouting thing has changed. Malik Willis, a Liberty University quarterback, could go top 5, maybe top 10. That's why I'm so fascinated. I mean, it's a really fun time to watch the draft now.
See, I'm not so much looking at prospects. I'm more looking at position, right? Because the last time we didn't see a running back taken in the first round was 2013 and 2014. And I'm just curious to see if we're going to see a running back taken in the first round this year. Just the running back market, period, as a whole. I mean, when I look at the last big contract, even as just in terms of a free agent, Ezekiel Elliott, I don't think we're going to see contracts like that again.
I know.
I remember we were covering all that. You know, the Cowboys kept saying Ezekiel Elliott didn't deserve Todd Gurley money. Todd Gurley didn't deserve that money. Well, Todd Gurley wasn't with the Rams after that 1 year, then goes to Atlanta, and then, and then we're looking at Ezekiel in the fall off. Then when I'm looking at some of these running backs, I don't know if there's one that merits a number 4 pick like we saw with Ezekiel Elliott. So I'm going to be curious which guy comes off the board first. I was at A&M's Pro Day for Isaiah Spiller. I think he's a very complete back. I think he's got a great personality. Breece Hall, Iowa State's another guy to keep an eye on. But I don't know about you guys. Who do you think is going to be one of the first running backs off the board? Do you think you'll see one in the first round?
I don't. No, I
0
think
for 32.
I think Hall at Iowa State is my top guy, but I have a board that's different than everyone else's. Walker from Michigan State is very highly looked upon, but it's such an interesting position because, again, yet another Super Bowl this year where it's like the Rams won the Super Bowl and it was Darrell Henderson and Sony Michel toting the rock. It's not having Emmitt Smith or Frank Gore or any of those guys behind you. Running back is becoming, in Buffalo, those guys, they share the rock, but there's not that alpha number one guy. They're going to pay $15 million.
100%. Running back is a position that is not holding its value, right? It's like they're plugging them in and they're plugging them out. They're plugging them in and they're plugging them out. And for me, like, I feel like for the running back position to really take over, you got to be able to catch the ball out of the backfield and do more than just run the football. Because I feel like I can get in the backfield, grab the ball, and take off running, right?
Hey, listen, the Falcons' best running back last year was a wide receiver named Cordell Patch. Just put him in there. He played and he was awesome.
49ers.
Yeah, I don't know that.
With Debo Samuel, exactly.